For the very first time, a Duplin County man is reflecting on a tragedy that destroyed his family in 2011. 9 on Your Side's Claire Curry brings us more on his story through grief to find light at the end of the tunnel.
The stuff that we look at as trials and that we think that God's punishing us are really the stuff that He's using to build us up to be able to help others.
Brian Suttles has faced these battles throughout his life. In March of 2011, Suttles was living in Greensboro, North Carolina with his family when he suddenly lost his wife to a respiratory infection.
I was in grief counseling, my kids were in grief counseling, and my wife had a best friend who was the aunt of my children. I had known her the whole time me and my wife were dating, and since we had moved up there. Went on many vacations. Her kids were about the same as mine, so they did tons of stuff together.
The family friend, Mary Ann Holder, watched over Suttles' children, Hannah and Ricky, who were 8 and 17 during this difficult time.
On November the 20th, 2011, she woke up that morning and wrote a 2-page suicide note, apologizing for all the pain that it was going to cause, and she went room to room in the house and shot all the children that were there in the head.
Holder killed her own 2 children, her son's girlfriend, niece and nephew Hannah and Ricky, before turning the gun on herself. She also injured her ex-lover during the spree.
The worst part was coming home, going back to that house, and all their stuff's in there, my wife's stuff's still in there, and them not there. For 18 years, you're used to that, and that was probably the worst mental trauma that I've ever experienced in my life.
At the hospital, Suttles made the decision for both of his children to be organ donors, helping to save the lives of several others.
That's the everlasting healing part that stays there. I mean, because you always will know that even though she's passed away, that in heaven, still a part of her was able to still help somebody. Even when she was dying, she was still able to save somebody else's life.
Now Suttles has moved back to Wallace, where he was born and raised, turning to music and seeing a glimpse of his children in each one of his students.
One of the girls, our bass player, Sapphire, she's 11 now, but she started when she was almost 10, and just amazing bass player. And she actually got saved at the very same little small youth camp that my daughter got saved before she died. At the same age, everything. It's just another one of them things that God just sometimes has to show us.
In Wallace, Claire Curry, 9 on Your Side.